Joining us now is CBS News legal analyst Jack Ford. Jack, good to see you this morning.
Chris, good morning.
So like we just heard in Seth's piece a second ago, the Clementi family releasing a statement asking the DA, quote, that the existing criminal laws be applied appropriately. Let's break this down. What exactly are they asking for? What do the parents want?
I think what they're doing here is essentially they're calming the waters. You know, it sounds like the charges are going to be coming out from the prosecutor's office sometime soon. And you'll remember when this happened, there was such outrage and such anger, and there were a lot of people out there demanding more than the invasion of privacy types of charges.
Manslaughter.
You had people talking about should there be manslaughter? There was a death here involved. And it sounds as if that the family and their lawyer have been working with the prosecutor, which is not at all unusual. And it sounds as if they've all decided, look, let's get the word out there that we as the family members, in the midst of our terrible grief here, are okay with the way the prosecution is going to handle this thing.
Okay, so they don't want severe punishment per se, but they do want severe charges here because severe charges are definitely still at play.
Yeah,
right?
and the charges that they're looking at here are these invasion of privacy charges. You know, you can't capture an image of somebody involved in an intimate moment and distribute it out there. But there has been talk, you mentioned manslaughter. Probably not. You know, manslaughter, classic illustration, manslaughter, you pick up a gun, you don't bother to check if it's loaded, you're fooling around with a friend, you pull the trigger, and there's a round in the chamber, you kill him. You never meant to hurt them, but you engaged in reckless conduct that carried a probability of death. Here, you have the intervening factor of suicide on the part of Tyler Clementi. So I don't think you're going to see a manslaughter charge coming out of this, but there's a big question about a hate crime or bias.
Yeah. District attorney, prosecutors, do they listen to things like this? Do they take this into account when deciding whether to issue formal charges,
you know,
or go for manslaughter or bias?
I was a prosecutor. You always meet with the victims' families. You want to keep them informed of the progress of what you're thinking of doing, why. You'll ask for opinions from them. Now, the victims' families don't drive it completely. So if the prosecutor thinks, I've got to do this, even if the victim's family doesn't agree with it, it's still going to get done. But you'll always look to them for, again, fill them in and see if they agree with you. And if you do get them on your side, obviously, most times you do, it's a little bit easier to proceed. I think that's what we're seeing here.
What do you think the charges will actually be when pushed?
I think you'll see the invasion of privacy charge, certainly, that they've been charged with. I'm not sure about the bias. Now, in New Jersey, remember, it's not a separate crime. It's an enhancer for sentencing. And you have to prove not just the coincidence that a victim happened to be gay or black or Catholic. You have to prove that the conduct, the criminal conduct, was because they were that. If you can do that, then it means it's not a separate crime. It means that a sentencing judge at the time can add time to what the sentence might be. You might see that in play here.
Okay. Jack Ford, thank you. Good to see you this morning.